Hey kings and queens, welcome to another episode of Elevate with E. It's E here, Warren Hughes, CEO of Great Gale LLC, dedicated to rewriting the narrative. And this is a podcast aimed at helping you elevate over the limits life throws at you. So, today's topic, STTS. Again, STTS. So you may be wondering, what does that even mean? What's that an acronym for? So STTS is an acronym I found that made up actually. It means smile through the storm. Again, smile through the storm. So what is a smile? A facial expression characterized by an upward curving of the corners of the mouth and indicating pleasure, amusement, or derision. A smile. And a storm is an atmospheric disturbance manifested in strong winds accompanied by rain, snow, or other precipitation and often by thunder and lightning. So again, STTS, smile through the storm. So what this basically means is life is going to throw storms at you. Life is going to make your life challenging. Life is going to find ways to really push you to your limits and beyond. And what that basically means when you smile through the storm is that you're not just giving life the satisfaction of saying that, oh, times are hard, times are challenging, we're just going to wallow in our grief, wallow in our despair, and just be anxious or worried or disturbed or anything like that. Basically, when you STTS, when you smile through that storm, what you're doing is that you're giving yourself that mentality that even though I know it's hard and even though I know I'm going through challenges, I'm not just going to look defeated or stay defeated. I'm going to smile. You're going to be diametrically opposed to the situation that you're literally going through. So I'll give you an example of that. Just 2 weeks ago, actually, a member of my church passed away, and that really hit me because I was not expecting that. Came out of the blue. And the reason why it really hit me is because the time that it happened, it's almost like 1 year and a couple of months to the day that my grandfather passed away. So I'm like, it's the middle of the year and trying to get things done. Hearing about this, something like that it's very tragic, I was not expecting that to happen, and it was very sad. And the fact is, not only did it happen, but they were overcoming challenges. And that's why life is just so crazy, because sometimes when you think someone is pulling through and overcoming things, sometimes God can just say it's time to come back home. So that's why every day and every moment is so important. That's why smiling, being exuberant, having joy in the midst of adversity, it's so critical in these times. So basically, even though it was a going home service and even though they passed away, when they went to the service, it was the complete opposite, because they were smiling through the storm because, the family members, the church members, everyone was so happy because they had the deeper perspective of even though they're not here, they're with the Creator. So that gives them that joy and that peace and the smile to know that even though they can't come back to them, one day they will go and meet them in heaven. So basically, that's one example of just smiling through the storm. Because when I was depressed when I first went, and I'm like, this is sad, man. Like, I'm going because I love this person, I care about this person, but man, was it sad when I was going. Because I live about 3 hours. 3 hours away from the church. So it's like, oh man, putting everything to get there and then going, it's just... But what amazed me is that by the end of the service, when they explained everything, when they gave the perspective, from Christian perspective, it changed everything for me. I was just like, wow, knowing that it was a celebration of life. It's completely diametrically opposed to what usually mourning is. The person's gone, you're sad, all of that. You could hear hallelujah, you could hear the clap, you could hear the joy, you could just see it in their face that this is literally what it's all about. So that's one example of just smiling through the storm. And for me, just last week, a couple days later, well, actually, about the same day or a few days later, my hard drive crashed. And not just a hard drive, my hard drive with a lot of my important files and documents on it. And that really took me for a loop because I'm like, a family member, the church, the person you care about, basically. Because it's church family. They passed away. I'm like, okay, this week is tough, but, it's not terrible. But when that drive went down, oh my gosh. And it went down before I had to attend the party the following day, so it's very hard to sleep that night. I was hyperventilating. I just finished watching Demon Slayer, and when it finished, the hard drive crashed. I don't know if that was the cause. I'm not sure. But the point is, it was due to my own negligence. I could have prevented it, but Again, sometimes when a little voice comes and tells you you gotta make a change, you gotta do something different, you gotta take that little voice's advice and do it, because like that really threw me for a loop. I'm still smiling through it because I'm not who I used to be. In years past, when I kicked my hard drive by stupid reasons by accident and destroyed half of my computer graphic, work after years worth of doing it and failing basically, I kicked it and I had to start over. Mid semester, I was big mad. Big mad. But the point is that now I have the deeper perspective of that. One, you gotta smile through the storm because life is not promised. If you're still breathing, there's still a chance. Like basically what McKenna said in chapter 1 of Bold Saga. There aren't any bad days, just bad moments. As long as you're breathing, there is a chance to turn it around. Again, there aren't any bad days, just bad moments. As long as you're breathing, there is a chance to turn it around. So that's basically what I had to do. I went into full restore mode. I did everything I could to restore the files that I could find. What I couldn't find, I just had to live with it. And then I had to come to a decision. Do I fix it myself and go, full, data forensic, analyst type to try and bring the file back to working? Or should I pay someone $700 to $2,000? And I had to weigh my options. And I came to the conclusion, after discussing with my wife, that, again, even though I could pay someone professionally to fix this, $700 to $2,000 is a gamble because there's no guarantee they'll be able to get all the files back. I identified what the problem was. I worked towards solving the problem, but I feel that after all the surgery and everything I did to take apart the drive and put it back in its place, it ended up having issues, and then I got more annoyed, so I tried to fix it the fifth time, and that's when the thing got really messed up. So I still had to choose to smile through it because at the end of the day, I did everything that I could. I can't afford to make $700 to $2,000 investment right now into a maybe. Not a guarantee, but a maybe. That just seems too steep for me. And after fixing it the way that I could fix it, what could have ended up happening is I could have spent $700 to $2,000 to fix it the proper way, and then it could have been for nothing. So that's just life. Just thinking about it can sometimes be stressful because like it's not just work I have on. I have like personal memories and personal files and a lot of great important content and information. Even some of my client work. So I was able to get what I could, but the personal things, I don't know if I don't know, but I believe it's possible I will see them again. Maybe I have them on another drive or somewhere else, or maybe someone else can be able to fix it for me. But all this makes me choose to smile in the midst of the storm, because that is a storm. If you know anything about me, you know I put 120% to the work that I do. I work very hard, very, very hard, because I believe that's what separates, ordinary from extraordinary. The work, the drive, the hustle, the patience, all of that. So I've had that drive from, I think, 2014 since I went to the Andy Mineo concert and with Lecrae. We anomaly tour. I think that was fire back in the day. But basically, after going through all of that, I came to the realization, just like when I went to the funeral for the church member, the church family. You have to smile through the storm. Life is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. You cannot stress yourself about things that you cannot control. You cannot stress yourself about the tragedies and the sad parts of life that you go through. You have to choose to smile through it because you get a different perspective on it. So no matter the limits or the storms, find a way to smile. Encourage yourself in a way that you can to smile. Find a way, because one thing about life is it won't always be like this. Sooner or later it's gonna turn in your favor. That's facts. That is so true. It's turning around for me. That's a good gospel song. It won't always be like this. God is perfecting that concerning me. Sooner or later, it'll turn in my favor. It's turning around for me, around for me. You have to confess that, dictate that. Speak that in your life. Around for me. Really speak it. Around for me. It's turning around for me. It literally will not always be like this. It won't always be storms. It won't always be floods. It won't always be hellfire. There will be a time when darkness has to give way and succumb to the light. It will come. It doesn't matter how long, because one day it will come. And it will come at the time you least expect it. But that's the best part about life, the mystery. You know, like someone had once said, life isn't about finding ways to just wait for the rain or the storm to pass. It's literally about finding ways to dance in the storm, finding ways to dance in the rain, finding ways to smile in the rain. Even when I think about it, like as tragic as it was of losing my grandfather, I still had to find a way to, you know, find a way to smile last year, even though I felt like trash, even though I felt disturbed and disgusted, so sad, even waking up out of my sleep, like a nightmare, because I literally saw him. Basically, he had mangoes in his hand. He was coming into, grandparents' house, and who wants the mangoes? Such a giving man, and it's just like, oh man, I really miss him. But that's just life, man. You gotta find a way to smile through the storm, because I believe I'll see him one day again. But that's so true, because you have to find ways to basically smile through the storm, find ways to relax. I find that the silver lining is that by losing all my drives, it gave me the perspective that, even if you give your all to your work, sometimes things will happen that are out of your control that can compromise work. So you have to celebrate your life. You have to smile through the storm, which got me back into doing something that I haven't done in a while, playing video games more often. I love video games. That's one of my favorite things to do, but I spend a lot of time working. Like, at this point, I don't even count how many hours I put in for the work that I do. I just keep going until it's done. Like Eric Thomas said, entrepreneurs or people that grind don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done. Doesn't matter when that time is, you just keep going, because the opportunity may not be in a 9 to 5, it may be after that, it may be something else. So even if the work, when I'm talking to people, is ended, I'm still working. But still finding a way to smile through the storm was me taking a step back this weekend to just relax. Play Kingdom Hearts, that was so much fun. Watch movies with my wife, spend time just relaxing and do it all. Because I'm still in a state of shock. I still can't believe it happened to my drive. Still can't believe it happened to the church family, but still finding ways to smile through it. I was talking about one of the people that's helped me get through the storms that I've dealt with, Esso the kid. And I was talking about him. If you're ever looking for some real music that can get you through some real times, Esso, oh my gosh, highs and lows, so it begins, so it continues, so it ends. Literally incredible rapper that talks about faith-based, just overcoming life challenges. He says an emo rap with the Christian vibes to it. The man is incredible. So basically, I was showing Bold Saga, for those watching, you can actually see what I'm talking about. So I had the post with the, king and queen painting behind him if you're viewing this. And I had, chapter 1 and chapter 2. And I was basically saying that, listening to his music helped me get through the challenges that I was going through in life, and that's what helped me to finish Bold Saga chapter 1 and chapter 2. One thing led to another. He's checking out Bold Saga. He says he's interested in it. And I'm like, before you even get anything else, I want to bless you because you've been a blessing to me in my life. So I just send him chapter 1 for free. So the point is, after that, he followed me on Instagram. And that just is amazing, because I remember in the past he talked about the fact that he loves Full Metal Alchemist. I never forgot that. I saw him with the post. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So to be able to go from listening to his music in the past to actually posting with it, and I actually tagged his song. I think it was God will never give me more than I can bear, more than I can bear, more than I can bear. That song is fire. Only the Lord knows the trouble, the struggles that I've seen all through my life. I walk down the crossroads, the light in the tunnel made me know all will be right. God will never give me more than I can bear, more than I can bear, more than I can bear. God will never give me more than I can bear, more than I can bear, more than I can bear. That song is fire. And that's just coming right up out my soul, because I love that song, but I've been so grinding, I haven't even heard it in a minute. So that was just God telling me to put that one on. So again, if you're looking for real dope music, check him out. But again, it ties into the fact you have to find a way to smile through the storm, because that just happened, all the tragedies I was telling you about, within this week. There are all of this craziness. But you have to find a way to smile. If I wasn't smiling through the storm, if I wasn't taking time back to just relax, reflect on God, be at peace with what has happened, I wouldn't have made that connection. And if I didn't make that connection, it would have just been a regular day, but that was an extraordinary moment. So it just goes back to the fact that you just never know what can happen next. That's why it's so important to take time out to reflect. Take time out to smile through the storm, because the storm won't always last. Find a way to smile through the storm and get to the next level so you can elevate to be who God made you to be. So that brings me to the power quote of the day. Be happy, always wear a smile. Not because life is full of reasons to smile, but because your smile itself is a reason for others to smile. And that is so true. Be happy. Always wear a smile. Not because life is full of reasons to smile, but because your smile itself is a reason for others to smile. And that was by Unknown. Because it's true. When you smile, when you're happy, even though you're going through it, you encourage others to do that. And that causes a chain reaction. So you're impacting others' lives just by wearing a smile, defiant of the challenges and the limits life is throwing at you. So that brings it to the upcoming events. Bold Saga Chapter 1 and 2 are available right now. And if you're watching this, you see what I'm talking about. There's Chapter 1 right there. There is Chapter 2 right there. This is Afrofuturism manga for the culture. I mean, at the end of the day, we're tired of being marginalized. We're tired of having to deal with the Hinata isn't black, toxic culture. We're tired of having to deal with anime is a perfect world, so why are there black people in it? We're just tired of, when they shot the roaches into space, and then, I don't know, after terraformers showed that, they just happened to look like black people with the gun sideways and the overly brute look, the Mr. Popos. You can go on for days about the problem, but no more talking about the problem. It's time for the solution. Afrofuturism manga for the culture, empowering our young kings and queens for the culture, empowering them with the majesty of African culture. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are both available now in physical formats, paperback, as well as the ebook on Payip. The Payip's got the high quality ebook. You don't even need the Kindle, you need the Payip one if you want to get the ebook. Truly phenomenal series, truly incredible, and the best part is that when we continue it, we are working towards Chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6 because we have the Kickstarter running right now, Kings and Queens. It is doing phenomenal. We're at $2,291. So this podcast is the last time I'll be talking about this stage before we move on to the next thing we're doing. Again, $2,291. We've made that. We already hit 81% on our goal. The initial goal was 500. You want to be a part of this black excellence. Wouldn't it be great if you were part of, One Piece before it blew up? Wouldn't it be great if you were part of Naruto before it blew up, before Black Panther blew up? The idea, the creation, the story. Wouldn't it be great if you could be an early adopter so you could be a part of black excellence? That's what we're doing with Bold Saga. Check it out. It's truly phenomenal, truly amazing. The Kickstarter is live right now. You don't want to sleep on this. Literally. And that brings it to the interviews, because Bold Saga has gotten so successful to the point that we are going to have 2 major interviews this week. The first one is with Lost Children of Andromeda. It should be tomorrow, I believe at 6 p.m. That's going to be fire. And then on top of that, person I look up to as a mentor, person who helped me as a teacher for the 90-day book challenge, I'm going live with an interview with Black Sands. We're going to be talking about Bold Saga. Oh my gosh, the Kickstarter, man. This is incredible. This is literally incredible. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be happening this week, probably within 3 days of the campaign ending. It's only 6 days left. So check it out. Secure your slots. We've got legendary slot. You can be an actual major character in the series. We've got the $200 slot, the $200 tier, where you can have your family member, your young king or your young queen, actually shown in the series with their likeness in it. And when you see Bold Saga, it's all about black excellence. You'll see characters with fades, you'll see characters with locks, you'll see characters with bantu knots, you'll see characters with Ghanaian braids, you'll see characters with parts. Literally, their nose, their melanin, everything is represented authentically. Why? Because it's no more time for a carbon copy or, artificial representation. It's time for authentic representation. And that's what we're delivering with Bold Saga, Brave Onwards, Limit Destroyer. Because don't your young kings and queens deserve to see themselves as heroes? Then back us today. Donate today, share our campaign, and let's rewrite the narrative together. Because as the African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for checking out our podcast. Again, we've got so much amazing reviews, so much more amazing content on the way. So stay tuned for that regarding Bold Saga, regarding Great Gale. The best way to stay tuned, you can follow us at Great Gale Co. GreatGaleCo. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Clubhouse, and Fanbase. And thank you again for listening. We've got, oh my gosh, it's going to be phenomenal. So again, remember, smile through the storm. This is your time. This is your season. It's time to elevate.